Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In today's lecture, we will discuss about the relationship of discourse analysis and speech act theory. What is a speech act theory, and how can we get the meaning with associations and with reference to the discourse analysis, and how it helps us while analyzing or while making analysis of any kind of discourse. You know very well that discourse is beyond the sentences. It's very much different from the scenario and from the context of text. Discourse is beyond sentences and far away from sentences. We have two types of discourse, written and spoken. But in today's lecture, we will try to find out the basic link between speech act theory and discourse analysis, how they are associated, and can they be a part of one theoretical aspect of the approach? If yes, we will discuss it. Let's move. Actually, speech act theory was or it was first developed by British philosopher Jane Austen in almost 1989, and he delivered a speech or a talk that when people talk, they are performing actions with their words. It was the basic concerns of Jane Austen. Jane Austen expressed his view over that every speaker, when he says, actually he performs something. He performs actions while utilizing the words. They are doing things such as writing, promising, marrying, proposing, inviting, and greeting, and so on. Just like he put an example that when a priest says, I pronounce you husband and wife to a couple, then he is performing the act of marrying a couple. Actually, he wanted to express that every word or every phrase that is being occurred has some specific action while performing that phrase or that words. Sorry again for that. Cyril defined a classification system of speech acts as well as introducing the notion of indirect speech by showing that a single utterance may contain more than one type of speech acts. It's not mandatory for a statement that one statement can be entitled with one type of response, one type of act. It might be possible, it may be possible for a statement that it would capable enough to illustrate the different type of acts. A primary one which is indirect and not literally performed, and a secondary one which is direct and is performed in the literal utterance of the sentences. Sometimes we state something else but we predict something else, and the intention and the notions of the things are very much different from the real concept that is being presented over there. Just we have an example. I wish I was at toy stores. It was a wish. Actually, he wanted to express the position of his or of my presence at that time. It was occurred by joy. Sami says, I wish I was at toy stores. And Joyce says that okay, I'll take you. It's mean the both different actions presented by. Sammy say I wish I was. Actually he wanted to be there. He wanted to be at toy stores just in order to buy some things that he wanted to. Definitely, it's a wish, and the second aspect of the speech that he wanted to be there. Speech act theory. Just try to comprehend the things. Speech act theory can explain how speakers and hearers use language. So we have understand things. Speech act theory actually explain the position of language, how speaker use that. When the speakers expresses or when a speaker expresses or explains a statement, actually he or she wants to implement that statement and this position that we have. While getting the basic concept of speech act theory, we have to see it's the components of communications. And Jane Austen, as J.L. Austen defined and divided the speech act theory, the component of speech act theory into three further divisions. And the first one, locutionary act, and second one, illocutionary act, and third one, pre-occasionary act. If we want to comprehend what actually speech act is, we have to look its three components of communication. The first one, locutionary act, and the second one, illocutionary act, and the third one, pre-occasionary act. Just try to comprehend the meaning of these three speech acts. First one, locutionary act. Locutionary, the actual utterance and its ostensible meaning. We can recognize the bare fact that a communicative act takes place. The act of saying something which is roughly equivalent to the uttering a certain sense in reference. Actually, locutionary act is an act where we predict or where we sense, where we try to get the meaning according to the reference of that sayings. If we have a statement and we try to look out the purpose of that statement, it's necessary to assimilate, it's necessary to imitate that statement according to the situation, according to the location where the actually saying is. Just we can clearly get the things, we can easily assess the meaning of that statement if we try to imitate or if we try to mediate the sense of reference according to the statement that is being prolonged. It's the first type of locutionary act. And the second type of illocutionary speech act means where we perform the results, where we find out the speaker's sayings with reference to the performance of the speaker's sayings. It's mean we try to look out the performance of sayings of the speakers, just like if he is welcoming, we try to find out the gestures and the welcoming gestures and welcoming emotions from the side of speakers. Or if he is promising something, so we try to see the performance of speakers, how he utilizing the gestures of performance. So if we find out the illocutionary speech act, it's mandatory for us to look out the act and find out the act of a speaker's performance and try to relate that aspect according to the performance of speakers. If he says welcome, it's our duty to find out the welcoming gestures, welcoming performance of a speaker. If he is doing something, or he is promising, or he is warning, if he is warning, we can easily see, or we can see the harsh temper of the statement, or by or from a speakers. If he is promising, or he is if he is requesting, we can see the aspect of request at the performance of Mr. Speaker's gestures. So, illocutionary act is directly related to the performance of the actions, but locutionary act is actually the position of the utterance with reference to the sayings. Locutionary acts, we try to find out the actual position of meaning with reference to the senses. But in locutionary speeches, or we try to look out the performance of sayings from side of speakers. In locutionary acts, speakers definitely has some purpose or some intention to express his sayings. I promise to pay you back, intend to do or communicate. Actually, I promise to pay you back. It's mean here I have intention to pay you back. Here the intention of a speaker's purpose is being implemented. Just see that next statement that David Crystal stated that the locutionary acts can be grouped into basic types such as 4 to 5 further divisions. First one, representative. Representative, here the speaker presents himself or herself just in order to affirm, just in order to make sure the belief and the conclude and deny and make a report of the statements that he had. In representative, actually he is the representative of the situation. He is representing the things that he has, or that he had, or that he has. After that, in second level of locutionary, he is directive. He is directive. It means he is being directed by some command, by some challenges, or he is insisted, or he is requested to do something. Here he is compelled to do anything. The speaker tries to get the hearer to do something. Here he is actually being derived by another person's. As we can get the clear-cut concept by directive. Directive, where we have to direct something. So if a speaker is being derived or being directed by anything else or by another speakers, it's an aspect of directive in locutionary speech act theory. After that, we have commissive. Commissive, speaker is committed to do in varying degrees to do something in the future. He is promising for near future, guaranteeing, pledging, or just like promising and swearing and vowing. Just like I'll do, definitely I'll do. I'll guarantee you that I'll make sure about my presence. I vow, I promise, I swear, I didn't do it. I will not do it again. It's mean if we are doing promising, or if we are putting our guarantees, or we are making swears and vows just in order to make assurance of the things that we have. After that, at fourth level, we have expressive locutionary speech act, that express the speaker's feeling towards something, just like apologize, deplore, thank you, welcome, congratulate. Actually, at this level, the expression of speakers can be seen here. And at the fifth level, declarations, it's a declarative acts that change reality, such as baptizing, pronouncing someone guilt, and resign, and you are fired. Sometimes we are classified, and we are being fired from, or we are being directed, or we are directed just to put a resign over there. If we have some time of declaration over there, it's also the parts of a locutionary speech acts. and we have at third level prelocutionary acts. The effects of speakers' utterance on the listeners who can feel amused once and pursued it. If there is any kind of effect or any kind of influence of speakers' sayings over listeners or over hearers, so definitely we are in the process of prelocutionary acts. Speech acts, as I recently informed you, that it's the basic consensus of three different locutionary acts. First one, locutionary acts, and second one, allocationary acts, and third one, prelocutionary acts. And these acts and these speech acts actually help a listener and helps us speakers to make their sayings clear, and it's necessary for a listener or for a reader or for just for a hearer to comprehend the things. If he is in a position to grasp the basic concepts of locationary, allocationary, and prelocationary acts, definitely he will be in a position to comprehend and to understand and get the basic gist of the statement that is being or that were being implemented by the speakers. So it's necessary, it's mandatory to learn about the things, and it's for all for in today discussions. Hope so. I'll discuss the rest of the part in the less rest in the next lectures. If you have any question related to what is a speech act, what is a locationary, what is a locationary speech act, and what is a pre-locationary speech act, and how they are associated in discourse analysis, you can easily ask. Okay, good day, take care, Allah Hafiz.